Coming from the pool, coming from the pool. Please come in, coming from the pool. Oh, coming in, coming from the pool. Coming from Hi. If I remember, the bathroom is just kind of next to it, right? Okay, great, thank you. Molly? Hey.
I wanna lay here next to him. I remember walking in the rain. Rain was falling on my head. I don't wanna live through that day. I tried, and I get dark now. Like I'm walking in a park now. Children singing songs of rain, cold out winds come true. How love and only takes love. Love is a healing thing. When you give everything, love in the world gives you love to follow. Remember me, yes, just give me back. I'll see you soon. Just give me time. Just give me back. I'll see you soon. Just give me time. September will rain and wind blow. I will see you walking in the cold. Oh, and if you let me, I will keep you here inside the stars. I will love the sound of your sheets. Oh, you have moves in my eyes. I'll see you through it all. I just give me time to let just give me my chance. I'll see you through. Just give me time to let. Just give me my chance. I'll see you soon. Just give me time. Just give me chance. I'll see you soon. Just give me time. Just give me chances. I'll see you soon. Just give me time.
Well, no, it's something I would do. It's not something I particularly, care about, right? It just seems like, sure. I'm saying to stay on, well versed in. Yeah. This is right up your but in general, it's very dry, solid things, right? Yeah, you classical reading, right? It's not
around the world, mind and body, like a bird. We fly high, we fly high. You can fall, or you can rise and confusion and struggle, lost in the dark. You might listen to me. We fly high, we fly high. You can fall, or you can rise and soar. One love and one world, we have to live together. Another day, another moonlight. We have to live together. We have to live together. Life is so beautiful. One life and one world. We have to live together. One heart, one mind, we have to live. We have to live together. We have to live. We have to live together. We have to live. One love and one world. We have to live together. I know under the moonlight, wherever you are, we have to live together. We have to live together. Life is so beautiful. Life is so beautiful.
Otherwise, it's still going to be hard for us. Okay. No, the reason I asked is probably in your field too. There's certainly
Hey, yeah. Oh, yeah, my own freedom, putting it in my song, singing loud and strong, moving all day long. I'm taking my freedom, putting it in my soul. I'll be hot stepping, y'all, letting the joy unfold. I'm living my life like it's golden, 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 golden. I'm holding on my freedom, can't take it from me. I was born into it, it comes naturally. I'm strumming my own freedom, playing the God in me, represent His glory. Hope He's proud of me. Hope He's proud of me. I'm living my life like it's golden, 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 golden. Living my life like it's golden, 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 golden. Living my life like it's golden, 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 golden. Living my life like it's golden, 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 golden. Living my life like it's golden, golden.
All right. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Thank You, Dark. Yeah. Thanks, all. Great. Thank you all so much for coming out. Just a few things before we get started. If you wouldn't mind taking a second, silencing your cell phone, just making sure there's no sounds for our poetry tonight. In case of an emergency, the best fire exit is the way you came in. Unless the fire is over there, then the best fire exit is through this hallway and through that door that says "Do not enter." A little bit about this space. This is under St. Mark's Theater. We are run and operated by Frigid New York. Frigid New York is an independent, non-profit theater company. We're dedicated to making art as affordable and accessible as possible for both our artists and our audience. So thank you all so much for coming out and supporting independent art. We have tons of variety shows, poetry readings. We have 7 art festivals a year. Coming up on April 1st is our New York City Fringe Festival, which is going to see us put on 75 shows across 5 different locations over just 3 weeks. So you can find out more about our website at frigid.nyc. And of course, another festival that we work with is the Estrogenius Festival, which is New York City's longest running festival that supports women and gender non-conforming artists. So thank you again for coming out and supporting independent art. Yeah. Thank you for supporting that festival. And I know y'all didn't come out to see me speak. So without further ado, please welcome Molly Kirshner.
Hello, welcome. Thank you all so much for being here. So with these new poems, I want to make an offering to the dark as we move towards spring. So there are really no rules. You can heckle me, you can laugh, you can, if you can't hear me, if you need me to repeat something, you can yell at me, that's fine. All right. Welcome, come on in. Is that Chaps?
Yeah.
Hi. Hi. All right. Thank you, Dark. Come now, I can't be the first to have interrupted this bachelor party to spread the word about concentric circles. Ever read Jung? Ever work in a theater? Every day in some theater, the lightboard operator calls out, "Going dark!" and you're obliged to say, "Thank you, Dark!" Just like that, pine cones swell and fall. The first chill of autumn strikes, and let's run 100 miles while reciting the juiciest parts of the Constitution. Surely you've heard of the perpetual motion machine. I once had a dream in which someone was trying to sell me something. I never learned what. This person assured me, "This product works for more people than there are dead people." Boys, gentlemen, lend me your beers, and while I empty them into your sink with a look of disgust, I'll tell you a story. I was on a bus. A woman remarked to a young man, "Has anyone ever told you you look like Jesus?" He looked up from his phone to reply, "Yeah, I get that all the time." Isn't there a better time? Outside the north building of Port Authority, there's a man preaching in Spanish. The cadence sounds the same, as if it were in English. Alone with the universal, you know, the responsibility for my soul weighs on me like the craniums of peonies I lift to my nose in the evenings, before our trysts at 2, 3, or 4 a.m., which I attend unwillingly. Isn't there a better time? The tongues of black holes may be larger than their mouths. I read that. And nightly I am transfused by a love so huge that to perceive it, I must become it. All right, so far so good. Everybody can hear?
Yeah.
Not going too fast? Okay, if I go too fast, you can't hear. You just yell at me. I know my mother wants to yell at me because my hair's in my face.
That's right.
I know. Grounded wind. Couldn't we just whirl a while like grounded wind? Didn't you just find poetry again? Someone is planting grass. A physicist has published an image of magnetic fields, and from what I can tell, someone has left fingerprints all over the stars and intervals of darkness. You know, the thorns in my soul point inward, as if I were some kind of confused rose, that I bloom the way a zealot distributes pamphlets in the streets. You have just had your watch fixed. It tells the time in all the countries where we wish we lived. You are hot with desperation from this ravishing predicament. You ask everything of me, and I rise to the depths. More urgent than gravity. Shall we exit for an hour these infinite confines? Forget what we are, then recommit to this whole inevitable affair of being human, being here? The dancer over there, trained for years to fly as effortlessly as winged seeds fall. The bees that people the wisteria are in it to make a living. Well, I'm just here for a good time. It's more urgent than gravity. You are on the ledge of your destiny, and either you will take the painstaking lifelong plunge, or you will seek some distraction from this, your body, spare as poetry. Let us re-enter these infinite confines then, for however long, as if this existence were a masked ball full of obligatory delights, and we just needed some air. Don't commit. 1. Email. Subject. Don't forget the dead. Body. Line to apply to be a education expert AI trainer is tonight. 2, digital street sign. Don't commit. Don't they want to name the crime? Perhaps in a matter of seconds, the object of the verb will appear. In the meantime, our bus whizzes by. 3, music. And love, all those years ago, it was as though I'd said, the Scottish play, in the theater of myself, and was locked out of my mind. That group therapist made me watch Ariana Grande's Backup Dancer as a model for what it meant to live an engaged life. A little less conversation and a little more touch my body. I criticized the content of those lyrics. Why choose? You quibbled with the grammar. Shouldn't it be a little more touching of my body? 4, so concrete, so serious is this world of illusion. We ought to answer that ad for a priest in the 7 Days paper. Yes, I'm a married Jewish woman. However, it's illegal to discriminate. Tell the hiring committee how well I sermonized, sweaty-palmed at night when no one asked my opinion. And I'll describe the way you toast marshmallows for the neighborhood kids with a lighter. 5, there's something endless between us. We're 2 points stabbed by the same line. The same fate transverberates us. The way, with a single gesture, the sun burns a person's shoulders and nourishes a quadrant of earth into flowers. It was a real sign, don't commit. Have a photograph. Rose petals. Rose petals wet in the teapot, snow and slush in the street. That's how I know God is dreaming of me, the way madness sneaks up on me. The trees can outrun neither predator nor admirer. Love, represent whatever you want. There's everywhere to run, yet I have no legs. November. Lights like smiles forced on trees, golden puddles, my mother's favorite game. You have 1 minute to make anybody laugh. Street performer. Oh no, it's one of those moods where I welcome everyone to the laundromat. Act as paparazzi to spiders on Not My Lawns. Need to hire a professional confiscator of literature. See you later, Deepak Chopra. Till the next life, Carl Jung. Because whatever I read, I'll believe. Too happy to be left alone, since the point of having is to give away. I give you. The street performer whose act is walking barefoot on spikes. M dashes of grass, ecstatic sadness, clouds and ground passing water back and forth like a pipe between old friends. Men dressed like pirates and men schlepping huge crosses down Church Street, carrying on with people who seem totally normal. And for you, my reader, a gumball machine. For a quarter, you can get a quote from Kant, and some bubble gum flavored like 2 spears of blanched asparagus and capers on a dinner plate. I give you also a reproduction of the sign on the door to life, the one that reads, "You'll pay to enter and you'll pay to leave." You can hang it outside your home if you want. Yet we were, at least once, undaunted, hushed, and doubly fanatical. Dawn provides no closure. Pick a truth, any truth, and split me open. Process of elimination. It's true, by process of elimination, if you can't eliminate anything. What did I mean by that? Only that the same worms that are avian prey break fast with our remains. When you reach the inevitable, it doesn't make sense to keep talking, a poetry professor said. Everywhere I go, it's there. A young man tries to impress his date, describing the time he went sledding down a cemetery. And all the clouds the rain reifies, or just the thought of my love's touch, I fall through myself. I could build a more livable house on a map with a crayon than most could on flat land. You'll know what I mean when we're dead, our masks confiscated, the purpose of our lives whispered to us, by us. Yes. I am the one who chases peace the way photographers hound down tornadoes, who strips for the wind in the name of exposure therapy, who eats spicy peppers to purge her sins, who has a second home in a place where none of this matters, whose neighbors complain that the place is a wreck. Do not send me your sharp knives in a honey jar. I am not thirsty. My life is sweet enough. Whatever you mail will end up unopened at the return address engraved on the top left corner of you. Please understand. I have started a garden in the place where none of this matters. I have planted lavender and need it to grow. Another comfort. With the I'm going to start that one again. Another comfort. One. With the abandon of dandelions, that's how I long to fill fields and ruin lawns. Watch these flowers, I tell the neighborhood children. They will change. 2. What other comfort is there? 3. There's a swastika etched in the bus stop window. Kira attacks it with his umbrella. Don't worry, the lines are all squiggled the wrong way. And when he feels he's on the wrong end of the rain, I reassure him. Life is a kind of business trip. 4. I'm in a hurry. An 11-year-old hands me a stick, begging me to write in the dirt, if the world. They are learning English, these children from Afghanistan, Syria, and Somalia. Kira and I play their games. We don't understand the rules. 5. Another comfort. A bubble alights on a blade of grass. A little girl kisses it out of existence. This is so much fun. This is such a privilege to be here. I'm having a really good time.
So are we.
Okay. And spring. A hit of sun before the set, ducks swimming in the pond where ice gave way to an oval of river. Shriveled, the apples at the summit of the tree, something like the elderly. And spring, a hatchling. Interview with spring. You can't buy a ticket to the show, and you can't forfeit your seat when the performers intrude on you. The fullness of one maple, one forest grieving one young spruce. No, I will not postpone my jubilation till the future is secure. Human, think of this. One lizard's brazen rest. I could have looked like anything. I elected lilacs. The dictator's remains slated for corn, squash, and beans to feed a poor family. What is saved from his soul, distributed evenly across the next generation of moths. And you who have also taken on a body the way clouds at saturation offload their moisture into rain and only then satisfy the thirst of roots. Feel the pressure of your pleasure. I am listening with all of my green. Right, arranging the pages. This too can be an answer. Grass and moss, how they feast on noon. Parakeets have second-hand reasons for greenness. The mist moves in caresses through stone pine and cypress. Yes, ask me a question. Chestnuts, their leaves fulvous, their fruits sold in paper cones in Rome, where also a man sings "Let It Snow" to an audience of sun and ignorance, then a tune about the virtues of New York. This too can be an answer. Catacombs showing the innocence of Susanna, and the faith that turned fire-resistant, 3 men condemned to burn. Our doubts, love, approach us like importunate rose sellers, and we tell them no, yet interrogate our hearts. Out loud, yes, with our voices now, confessing and dancing through the streets. The voice of buoyancy. Look, someone's got to be the voice of buoyancy, and it's not going to be that irascible man with the cantaloupe, I can tell already. So as the ambassador to insensible heights appointed against her volition, allow me to volunteer. Let us turn our attention, if you please, away from the fungus that sucks the juices out of live worms. Further still from the way we feel we have no say in the laws of even human government. Sometimes our opinion is valued. Last summer, a man in northern Italy who sold me a local stone made me get on the phone and convince his son not to move to New Jersey. Yep. We offer what we have. Every life a kind of yard sale, nothing withheld from the table. What isn't taken ends up in a landfill somewhere. War doesn't make any more sense than it used to. I know what revenge is, a 6-year-old with a very deep voice once said to me. It's when you give someone something cold, like ice cream. Snow. The old age of rain, made gentle in its falling by the ache of cold. Whatever water. A suspiration of snow? How can it be the same stuff as rain? Perhaps the way that fear and thrill share hormonal signals, and as kindling, I don't always know what I burn with. We ended up in a room of 28 people discussing thumos in eros. Is desire simply the drive to make something one's own? What of the other need, to be the possession, the plaything, the thing subsumed? And a student wanted to know if it's love when in the wild, a mother risks her life for her offspring, or if it's just a selfish urge to perpetuate her genes. Imagine a mother nursing her cubs thinking she's feeding her genes. Another asked why a perfect God would bother to create us, beings who smoke, lie, play dice, lust. Snow, rain, sleet, hail, I want whatever water. Somewhere, I'm sure of it, an armed robber holds up a furniture store, demanding that the man in charge take the sweater off his back so he can leave unencumbered, feel the snow on his chest. In the same world, I implore you to enjoy me. Interpretation. Like a text in need of interpretation, my body wouldn't reveal itself to me until you. Pleasure drops an anchor down the axis of me. This is the darkness of completion the night has in common with the ocean. All right. Sublunary. Night provides no closure. Tenebrous one, look up again. Why it is we always see the same face of the moon, though it spins. Tonight it rises like faith, like pitch in a stress-timed language. Maimed by our gravity and its own absent oceans, moon rock itself stretches out of its body toward us. That's the answer. I'm a fanatic of the religion of you, and night provides no closure. I would extend. The ballroom dance of snow that ends in melt, missing the bus because of the way snow looks on a spider's thread. The question that I would extend, I can't find. Somewhere to the future or the past of that happening, a child interrupts my lesson to ask, "Are you famous?" Sure, the way a snowflake is famous. And somewhere to the present of that, a woman confides in me that her blind clients suspect her of being a robot, and I don't ask about the evidence. And I don't tell her that dead men get shipwrecked in my dreams, don't beg her to interpret them, not even this. A man singing hymns in a phoneless phone booth while I sleep in the wilderness. I don't press her for her views, even, on what we both see. The leaf in the shape of an F, the shaking of the hydrangeas. After midnight, the leaves gave themselves up to the wind. This was a wind to empty the lungs it came from. The way in meditation we're taught to surrender all our air, then count to 4 and allow it back in. The way I was breathing after sneaking into the catwalk of a theater in the dark with 5 people hunting me, reverse hide and seek. Desiring both to win and to scream, I heard the wind, the voice of the witness, who knows where we are at all times and how flimsy our solitude is. All right. Encounters with men.
Oh, God.
1. I wish I could have your mood all the time. This bus driver is one of the grouchy men I assail with good cheer, no matter how I really feel. Oh, yeah? I should tell him what my husband says. What they don't show in these movies is the other half the time when she's the depressive pixie dream girl. 2. Furtively, a man watches me eat an ice cream cone, a look of consternation on his face. He'll be going to confession over this later, I suppose. I won't. Maybe I'll write him a poem in which the title is longer than the body. 3. I'm playing a giant spider. The child is playing a lie detector, bragging about his income. I get 20 retirement packages an hour. 4. Wordsworth punctuates his sense of calm at Westminster Bridge with exclamation points. 5. I was in a putrid mood when I found myself holding hands with a cop as he took my fingerprints for the teaching job. He liked that I laughed at his jokes. I did too. 6. If you can fix it, you can live in it, the landlord wrote in the lease agreement when I rented this unit of consciousness. Okay. Thank you for your patience. Service. Can I get some service over here? Take this back. I won't drink this. My bra's broken and the wire's poking me. I'd like to pay my karmic check and close this tab. Tell the management that I never ordered this, that I feel like a branch butting through barbed wire outside the military museum. Please say, she couldn't hear you over the blooming of the azaleas. When you gave her the standard greeting, Her soul's been under siege from day one with a revolt so violent, it takes all her courage to speak these lines. Don't just stand there! Get me an exorcist! Don't let me end up like those who hoard their spirits as if they had any shelf life, as if they were resigned to a fate poorly translated from a language no one has heard of, as if they were terrified that others might truly be happy. I'll cut through your pretensions like a red pen. I'll write you the worst review you've ever seen and have it tattooed to the most attractive parts of my body. I'm not leaving till you heal me. Paranormal expert. Cyrus would have liked to burn Croesus, yet it rained on the pyre. A prayer was aimed by hopeless lips. It struck and saved a soldier. Yesterday, you saw it too, the secession of 2 square inches of heaven, enough for a snail to live in, if it kept itself contained, or this much is certain, a lance of grass. And yet you held firm. We're not going to go see a paranormal expert you saw advertised in a bathroom. The laughter halved me. I'll have you know, I've had the mystery by the throat, by which I mean my own was a cup that could hold a sip of it for an instant. Complete. The preface to Endlessness was longer than the endlessness itself. Members of the bridge. Wrong address. Another woman's loneliness. I forget which way I came from. The only thing to do is bow to the captive algae and the lichen, which may be digested if the fungus gets desperate. The tick in my bed I stabbed to death with a pencil. The carpenter ants I starved. The man on whom I wrought such a vengeance with pictures of squirrels. We are peace-loving people with violent souls. We lose hide and seek like bright birds on green, on purpose. Such is our need to be seen. Can I see you, reader? I can't. So let me tell you a story. In Sri Lanka, a monk has a great idea. To eradicate the ants from the temple, he fills a bowl with water, sticks a honey jar in the center. The bugs were supposed to perish in the pilgrimage. Instead, they built a bridge, took turns serving as members of the bridge, turns running to the honey. In honey on pavement. No. From now on, I will write poems in honey on pavement, outside the offices of the best journals, so the editors will have to step in them before they reject them. And insects, if no one else, will taste the way it felt when I went metempsychotic from the orange in your early autumn eyes, my love, and the golden folds of the ginkgo leaves and the purple maple. This too must be inscribed. The lady who writes me routine messages, ending all her sentences with semicolons. The humility of that. I'm afraid some scientist really might try uploading his mind to a computer. Then what? Don't you feel we're lost in the library of tyrants' dreams? Not trapped, just lost? Is there a botanical term for that? Or one for the way history is hitchhiking in your bones? For the way I want to bend it down, a better future, like a bow for you? All right. Any one of these trees could be Daphne. Any cut of sun, Apollo, after seeing the Bernini. Mirror images of the miracle, sculpture and dance, the temerity of stone to resemble flesh, of flesh to stretch itself liquid. Daphne's feet, halfway to roots. Her fingers sprout leaves that will need Apollo's light. Enough to make me doubt the photosynthetic covenant. Whose idea was desire? Asceticism. Limbed in winter branches, the word reach means both act and achievement. Final apples not yet fallen out of autumn. Your face, fierce sun in the coldest months. Your skin. Good luck practicing asceticism in a monastery that beautiful. All right, and we've got bibliography of winter. Snow offers up light, a kind of regifting, and I, between new and second hand, accept both. The trees have grown muscles of snow, they resemble your arms, and as the original gestures toward the facsimile, which one is quotation? Which one source? Adonai Echad. 1. Perhaps some worlds really do have multiple gods, the way some planets answer to more than one star. A counterexample, I am monotheistically attached to you. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. 2. Like darts, your words strike targets in my body I didn't know existed. How? In my chest, in my side? Sights unreachable by touch. 3. Please, can you threaten me? A translation issue. This man meant to confirm our address in order to deliver the groceries. I intend to approach you tonight and ask the same question. 4. 4:30 a.m., we read about hybridization, genetic improvisation, lab-grown animals regressing to the habits of their parents' common ancestors, budding, gynogenesis, 1 insomnia for 2. 5. I'm going to be a caterpillar forever, but a chrysalis sounds nice to live in. No pious person has ever said. 1. Child of time and timelessness, this love would justify wings, as it justifies our game of tag in the midnight mist when you're anxious about a big decision. 1 insomnia for 2, and wings work without our reasons, without butterflies' need for reasons. 1. It's like remembering God for me when you repeat yourself in any language. No text. No text, only exclamation. Let's try that again. No text. No text, only exclamation points. That's the way the rain writes. The way I preach the creed of the day for an audience of skunk and fall flocks. Exhaust me, skeptic. I could keep talking like this all night. If this poem were a theater, I could turn off all the lights and convince the viewers that they were, each of them, alone. Listen. My fellow amnesiacs. My fellow amnesiacs, I can't say anything of substance. about the one for whom the wind takes dictation on the river's pages. It seems to me that each of us is given the same test again and again till we pass or pass on. Meanwhile, the one whispers the answers, shouts them, plants them as grass, seeds them in the looks of perjured enemies and sworn friends, the way we love each other, perpendicular, the way an endless space of sky hits a mountain and can't go on. Over there, that man, the scientist, preaches doom, yet tends his garden, calls each flower he. Do you suffer delusions of the absence of grandeur? My voice is sore. Please come closer. The great love. Moths hear the anguish of plants. Daughters retain the stories of their mothers. I hold the bald head of a child as she lays down in the snow, while you help another roll the stomach for a snowman. There's a reason cats can't taste sweetness. They don't need it, and we don't see UV. Yes, it's too much, and perfectly. The anchors of desire have been thrown. We'll stay at sea. The great love won't fit in any house, yet knocks on all doors at all hours for all lifetimes, as homes are sold and resold, awaiting an answer. Thank you for your patience as I take a sip of water.
No carrying on.
At attention. I am at attention through Alps, castles, fields of only apples, having noted light on the Dolomites, on towers, on snow, the dragon sculpted from wood it burned with its own breath, and the way Dante describes the punishments for the sullen. Having been a guest in a nihilist's house for 2 days, having used his jacuzzi, having stood under laurel, orange, and lemon trees, stepped on fallen olives, and tried again to heal the incurable, I am at attention with evergreen reverence, even when the test is illegible and my song is intercepted by note year, and when again I watch as others flee the joy they say they're chasing. In the history book, Queen Christina of Sweden has just fired a cannon without aiming and blasted the Villa Medici. I am at attention for what this body has to teach the spirit that won't fit. I will pick those up later. Okay. All right. The cab. 2 a.m. There are parts of my psyche I need to sweat out of my hands like a fever, and I'm sure there are wars fought only with olive branches, even in peony season. If I could sing, I would start a choir that performs only for crooks. My house is made of flames. Drop by any time. A visit from Archangel What's-His-Name. I get it. When I've exhausted my supply of kindness and demand an advance. Last night it showed up like a taxi and I just got in the car. Wherever the driver was going anyway, that's where I am now. On my way. Metamorphosis. This will be you someday, the professor assured me, meaning one day I too would realize I'd been doing the same thing every day for 30 years, that time had slipped out on me like a woman in a strange man's house who realizes she doesn't want to be there and leaves with a lie. I'll be right back. The sea squirt, before it becomes an adult, goes through a suicidal tadpole stage, consuming the brain it knows it won't need. And there's a type of sea star that goes on being a larva even after it's matured. The one becomes two. And then there's the whole cocoon thing. the way caterpillars, like some actors, won't change in front of others. There are many ways to do this. I looked up at him and said, or maybe you'll wake up in 30 years, exactly like me. Customer support. All right. You asked to speak to the most adamant person in the building, and now you've got me. This call will be recorded for quality assurance. The quality of your silence may also be assessed. Feel free to interrupt at any time. What gets me is the way two lovers wearing masks smush their faces together and it passes for a kiss. And the inaudible language in which our ancestors offer advice. Also, the psychic who predicted that her client would buy a Jeep, and then the client did, and cited this as proof of clairvoyance. And even though my mystical convictions have been weathered by my knowledge of madness, I sense the way Hermes and Iris ferry messages between us and gods, like veins, phloem, synapses, wind. Would you please hold for a brief survey? Put the following events in order. The promotion to hell, working under the megalomaniac kindergarten teacher who makes me stay after hours ironing in an apron, who admonishes children for laughing too loudly at the puppet show. The neighborhood children open our window from the outside, demanding candy, yet we have no more. They entreat us for carrots with equal ardor. Adam names the rabbit, yet the rabbit won't use that name. Abraham sells Sarah again for some animals and slaves. I read in the paper about birds building nests from trash as old as I am. The children stick bits of litter stuffed with bits of nature through the window. A little girl steals our stuffed rabbit and tries to give us a real one in return. God says, as a kind of caption for your arrival into my life, introduce yourself as the tour guide to his heart. Show him the sites where even ruins evidence endlessness. List your credentials in the future tense. By the word. I'm late for my optimism shift. And reader, I'm sure you have a midnight dental appointment or something to prepare for. Last night, I dreamt of attempting to throw a strawberry over a fence into a stern man's dream. I was a bad whore. I charged by the word. And those men's hearts, well adapted to herds of desire, had been much overgrazed. And the men were busy, and so was I, describing orange that plays at redness, red bursting into purple, a graveyard scene from a sailboat on a lake still clean enough to swim in, though the cold has come. Why else would I go on about autumn's savage chromatics? And on the subject of things that split open, bivalves and the dates I halved and filled with goat cheese to serve with honey and challah for Rosh Hashanah. Another year and I haven't shut up. You should charge me by the word. By the hand. 1. A woman in a cafe is putting together a PowerPoint on intracranial pressure. I ask to contribute an account of the way God lifts me like a caterpillar out of the street to set me down on grass, on heather. 2. A man in an army uniform is preaching in Penn Station. He's right. Why can't we understand we're 5 fingers on one hand? 3. Each of us comes to this world with a different to-do list. The first item is always the same. Learn to read this list. 4. Let me take you by the hand, lead you to your life, and leave you there. In the first place, you told me not to worry, though the clothes fell on the floor in the aperture between washer and dryer. You assured me they'll get clean again from the dryer's heat. A deeper problem. Why bother with the washer in the first place? The tabloid read, Leonardo DiCaprio's 19-year-old girlfriend, who is 49, had no idea who he was when they started dating. I've been teaching relative clauses for years, and let me tell you, I've never seen anything like this. Except you. That first time, the ultimatum, it's now or forever. That's what it said. Leonardo DiCaprio's 19-year-old girlfriend, who is 49, had no idea who he was when they started dating. I swear to God. Okay. Playing now. The megalomaniac kindergarten teacher from a previous poem hands me a flyer for a production by her company, Theater as Metaphor. Of course I return the kindness, inviting her to one by mine. Life as something you live. Of course, it's more than that. It's also, for example, each of us working to heal one cell of the devil alone in an operating room. I didn't say that. All I did was read her the synopsis. A millipede gets a pedicure. A man sets fire to the Treasury building for somewhere to char his marshmallows. One rage takes refuge in the hearts of 2 sworn enemies. Don't expect a resolution. A woman complains about the deer on her lawn, while the deer mourns for the woods. Untitled. In the winter we spied on each other through the bare apple branches. Oh, At the Protestant cemetery. At the Protestant cemetery for your 37th birthday, and there's more green than grave. Orange and pomegranate, January, the processes of autumn incomplete. Leaves in flavescent expression over the remains of Keats. Loss that looks like this. Cats on the laps of anyone. Here your grandfather kissed the first woman he saw because he'd promised himself he would. Notice of acceptance. To whom it may concern, I am writing to notify you that I accept the position in the here and now, Christmas carolers and all. You have my permission to station me in a time and place in which men confide in computers, in bedrooms they never leave, and if I have any questions, I'll have to lean across my cubicle and bother a colleague. I agree to take detailed notes for my successors. A useful phrase. Had I known you were going to take x-rays, I would have dressed up. Another. That must be the way time caves in on itself when watching a wave achieve culmination. A third. Where should I put this joy? If I want more information, the mission is doomed. It's not what I'm here for. War and workouts next to each other in the newspaper, death and recipes. So I listen to a flight attendant search for a word over the loudspeaker, the wind playing etudes in the nearest branches, phrases of love, the studied, the inchoate, the perfunctory, the meant. Yes, I accept, and I forfeit my right to resign. Protesters. They blocked off the street, and I would have joined them. Brandishing signs, they spoke out against death itself. I would have joined them, except the wisteria was in bloom, and I had a perfect view of the polluted river, and my father was trying to convince me that viruses don't exist, so I had to change the subject fast. And I learned that seasons on Saturn last 7 years. What if I had been born there on the first day of winter? What if someone much older had described spring to me? What does summer mean anyway, so far from the sun? I was tempted to join the riots, and yet my love was walking with me. He said that Kierkegaard said that Hegel was living in a doghouse next to a dilapidated mansion, and I couldn't see the problem with that. Wouldn't the doghouse be preferable, say, in a storm? Kier said, better to fix up the mansion. I said, I feel like a temple that gets burnt down and rebuilt every 10 minutes. Interested arsonist. Yes, I'm warming my face in the flames of hell. That's what I've got. My Russian ancestors had a giant dog in their bed. That was their defense against winter. If you're interested, arsonist, in doing your work in me, you can sign up for a slot between 8:10 and 8:15. That's what's left. All other hours are taken with leaf litter. All other minutes reserved for eyes that rest on the desk of my disquiet, like a multiple choice test. I would like to tell most people that Klimt painted women nude before adding raiment to appease the prudes. That my husband dreams of sleeplessness. That the iconoclast comes once a week to clean our house, and I'm aroused by the mess that results, and by the ease with which our saints break. So I'll tell you, just bring your extinguisher, lest something arrive first to usurp your place. A headline about a war, a heartline I can't interpret. Elegy in reverse. Don't tell me who I was, where I've been, what mundane sins and unforgivable crimes I've committed in my lifetimes. Only let me remember always the crush of souls, auditioning for roles in this earthly play, desperate to be cast even as a blade of grass. Even as a rabbit 2 hawks have their eyes on, I know I could change the world, they avow. And I get to be me now, reading Reveries of the Solitary Walker, together with my lover, under a waterfall. Don't tell me more than this. Only lead me to the valleys where others offer the ashes of their dead, so I may scatter this ecstasy you've given me. If you've turned your back on the world, well, that's just silly. The world is turning over and over its shoulder, seeking your face. In the private gallery, still lives and the people who press their faces close, hands behind their backs as if they didn't trust their hands. The way a frame gives them permission to see. A spy for the divine, a public detective, I hunt the divine. A two-sided canvas, a portrait of the painter's sister, unfinished on one, and on the other, a vase. I told her I'm going to confess to everything, an old man says. Okay. The hard state of water, love note to the reader. I thank the laws of physics for producing you, and this 37 cents worth of cleanliness, the hard state of water painted with dirt to store in my daylight savings account. What sort of place is this? I'm leading a 90-year-old man across icy sidewalks to the bus stop. He sings in his opera voice. Here we are. The way the snow coagulates lets us know we're not alone. Immigration. One glimpse of the Mississippi, dizzy with light. For a swim, we risked our lives. Rain in the river is river. Who can tell it to go back to the sky? With a wasp. There's a wasp buzzing above me, and I'm trapped on the acupuncture table. Outside, the sibilance of wind in the spoils of autumn, wind that meets the moonlight, moonlight that grows down, is undone by dawn. Inside, the ontological guesswork we're left with, anything to keep from thinking about this insect, because I can't move and someone once told me that I should try to relax. I once told a different person that I knew exactly the quantity of joy that justifies one life. As for sadness, there seem to be some asymmetries. We see the rain fall, yet its rise is invisible. What is it like? As if someone locked me on a continent or mountain, or in the white nights of a St. Petersburg summer when the sun is so full of itself it won't seed, and said, "You can't leave until you've noticed every detail." The way a black hole is mortal, yet within it, a respite from time. As if I were stepping into my own house after excusing myself from a social event, needing to be alone with the thought of you, in the vortex where the breath. Either someone has dialed up gravity, or I have the weight of an ocean, with all its algae, whales, casual surfers, Coke bottles, fish eggs, oil spills, swimmers, anchors, suicides, cruise ships, naval fleets, lighthouses, islands, passageways, portents. Hanukkah. For any two enemies, the following exchange. If you're in my life as an unhired private tutor, then please teach me the lessons in the books in your hands. Do it fast, so I can graduate from your unpleasantness. Then the one speaking tapes her own mouth shut, closes the doors, and turns out the lights. Now I open another unsolicited letter from the advice columnist. Strike a match to set against spurned wisdom. Time for another controlled burn in this, my arid soul. When lo and behold, my hair and sweater catch fire. Vitsivanu lahadlik ner, and someone else aborts the flames. If in death we doff these masks, why not also in the winter dark? Okay. This life is a collaborative research project. Reader, I confess to being localized in space and time. Help me, however small the slice. It's too much delight for one. First, there is happiness itself, thin as rain in places, thick as lake in others, a surging imperative. The glitter of fireflies, of wine in July, the way a lover prevails over the beloved, and something epistemic opens like a curtain, and these two know they're on stage, though the house lights stay down. People live in fear of these pleasures, and people revere them too. There's more. I discovered that the reason leaves must fall on trees' roots is to warm them in winter and feed them. That the ruffed lemur pollinates the traveler's palm. That a woman traversed an ocean to scatter the ashes of a man no one got along with in exactly the place he wished. And I have somewhere to be, I don't know when. You have until that time to go out and report, to court the hand of confusion, until then to collapse like a star into desire, and not a minute more to teach me what you've learned. Okay. All right. I desire you. Need to take another sip of water. Well, okay. I desire you. I'm a little cold. That's okay. I desire you. While I'm on my knees before God again, while one woman lets another out of her mind as if the latter were a trapped spider, while it dawns on a man that in the next life his soul will be combined with the soul of the person he most detests, while an army of children with toy guns runs up the stairs to the cloisters, while a unicorn bleeds in a tapestry, while a woman bleeds out one more possibility, while murals are painted in tunnels and feats of gymnastics are carved into Carrara marble, while Jesus hangs nonchalantly from some crosses, while caresses are given in a garden where fig plants envision their first fruits, while a wish is made in a fountain with a foreign coin, while the life of a dying daffodil flashes before its eyes. The only thing I can really draw is ruins, you say, the arrows of erosion. While a virus resembles the death of a massive star, I desire you. From the third rung of the vortex of pleasure and from its everywhere center, while a street vendor squeezes oranges with a machine to make us juice, while we're brittle as the moon's bones, soft as petal flesh, while our dreams use our likenesses like stupid deepfakes and you can't sleep because I can't. Touch me, while the sun spreads like a compass its aureate light, while trees perform CPR on us. By now, I mean while nothing and no one can opt out of this sweetness, this complete inconvenience. Virga, let's see if I can find us some jobs, the young man says to the old one, leafing through the paper. They're looking for a priest. I laugh from the next table over, an admission I've been listening. Now the young one speaks louder for my sake, describes a Gurdjieff class in which students go around in character for a week to cure themselves of rigid attachment to identity. One man, cast as the village idiot, was told to drool on himself in public. Suddenly, no one looked at him. He was free of his self-doubt. I, for one, am embarrassed to be seen with myself whenever God comes into view. I go through my mind as through a bag of second-hand clothes, knowing soon I'll pass it on. We're meant to spread out like heat, so quick to give itself away to any cold thing. I can name so many cold things. Government bills killing healthcare, frat boys on the corner of Pearl and No Prospect Street, ogling their phones. My brother has a job walking a racist dog. Go ahead, ask me about hope. Once in Santa Fe, I saw rain change its mind and evaporate halfway to land. I didn't say I understood, I said I saw. And once I thought I would die of anger. An angel came and played me a clip of a secret film. Reader, I refer you to the stars, or the grass if you prefer. Why, on this wide earth, walk as though on a tightrope? Thank you all so much for listening.
Thank you, Molly. Thank you for making this afternoon for all of us and for showering us with your words.
Thank you so much for having me here. It's such a joy to be in this space and such a privilege to read these poems, so many of which are about the theater in the theater that's in a theater that is my home.
Thanks so much to Bridget for hosting us and doing this shared moment with Estrogenius to bring Molly to the stage for all of you. And I had this revelation of poems being, when Molly is reading her poems, they are ephemeral. And as a choreographer, I really appreciate that suddenly our artworks, just our art forms kind of smashed together in the idea of poetry being read. So, thank you all.
Thank you so much, Melissa.
We are Estrogenius this year. Estrogenius is usually in March or May, but this year it will be in October. So this was a very special event. So we got to host Molly and hear these words, and then we'll be back in October for the full festival. So, yeah, thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you. And I bet you that there's a book we could all get some.
Oh, yes, Molly, is there a place where they
Really?
That's right. Yeah, there will be a book coming out in March of 2027, but I think you can pre-order it on, I think it's available for pre-order already on a couple of websites. It's called Sweeten It with Salt.
Yeah, great.
Yeah, can't wait.
Sweeten it with salt. Excellent.
Thank you.
So,